Hey everyone, thanks for coming out tonight. It makes us feel like not fools for doing this, so we're very glad to have all of you here. We are Sarcasm's finest, plus Quinn, who's kind of our star player. And my name is Christian, and I'll just get right to it. I unintentionally kind of came up with this theme for everything I wanted to talk about tonight, that I'm trying to be successful, but I can't help but feel like I'm just on the highway to hell, like literally. And this isn't funny. This isn't funny, Cam. I've been to hell. I've seen those tortured souls. I've heard the cries because I've worked at the UPS store. And it's a nightmare. It's just the worst, most traumatic experience ever. I mean, there were days where it wasn't so bad, but most days it was like the clock was Lucifer himself, and he was like, I'm slowing down every time you look at me. Like, it was just terrible. I worked there over the summer, and I, towards the end, I was just so sick of the place and so fed up with it that when people would call, I would pick up with like an accent. So a decent amount of my friends know me for like having kind of a decent Russian accent, and so they call, I'd be like, hello, this is UPS store where we can ship your weapons grade plutonium. How can I help you? And the people on the other end of the line would just be like, what? Like, I actually did this. This is not made up for this little bit here. No, I would do this, and people would just be so like surprised that there was a Russian weapons dealer on the other end of the line. But I mean, it kind of helped me survive and make my way through that job. And now, without any good transition, I'm going to talk about race. So, I just have a couple thoughts I'd like to share about race. First of all, let me just start out by saying that racism is bad. Okay, let's just start there. I do think that it's very bad to, be racist. But I'm getting a little bit sick of political correctness. Honestly, I think it's kind of mishandled, and it's starting to like haunt me. Like when I go throughout my day, I imagine that there's like some starving African orphan watching me, and so I feel really bad about everything I do. Like if I leave the water on for a second, then there's like this little kid, and I'm just like, oh shit, okay, I'll get the water, Or if like heaven forbid I don't finish a meal, he's just. And so I don't know. I'm just getting kind of sick of that because I mean I don't deserve to have this orphan follow me around. I didn't do anything wrong to him. I'm just trying to go throughout my life. That having been said, I did learn a very valuable lesson about actually taking like race and stuff seriously my senior year. There's this kid named Iman who, in case you couldn't tell, was Middle Eastern, and Iman was this really nice guy who played the flute, which is like the gayest instrument ever, but whatever, like it's okay, He was a cool guy, and and the problem is, my senior year of high school, I was just a really big ass. Like, there's no way around it. I was just a jerk off. Like, you wouldn't want to be around me. No, I was manageable, but I just kind of did whatever I felt like because I had some friends and we just goofed around the whole time. And so, in very lighthearted spirit, what I did to this poor Iman kid is like he would be walking down the hallway or walking into the room, and I'd fake, like especially if he came through a doorway, I'd fake a noise. I'd be like beep beep beep, and then I'd like go up and be like, sir, excuse me, random back check. Sorry, can we just stop you for a second? I'd like put his arms up and like kind of wave him down with my phone, and like, it was really bad. Yeah, I know. It was kind of a dick move, more than kind of, and so. This one day, I was like, he was just sitting down doing some homework, minding his own business, and I just started to like go through his bag. I'm like, sorry, sir, we just have to do this random bag check. And he stands up and he just has this like horrifying, just like glare. And I was like, oh boy, I done goofed. And so I started like kind of backing up, like, it was a joke, how funny. And he comes up and he just grabs me in this headlock, and he whispers in my ear, if you do this one more time, I'm going to kill you, and I'm not kidding. Okay. So I was done being a racist bastard from that day on. And yeah, I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, it makes for a good story, right? Again, without any decent transition, I'm going to talk about relationships. So my little brother is in 4th grade. He is 9 years old, and he's starting to say he has girlfriends. And it's like pretty adorable. But what recently happened is the poor kid, such a just helpless romantic. He gives this girl a note that says, "Do you like me?" and then has yes, no, and then like a little checkbox, right? Which is like super adorable. And he was talking to his friend in the backseat of a car when I was driving him and his friend home, and he told his friend, he was like, "It's easier to write a note to a girl than to say what you want to say to," and I quote, "her face hole." I don't know what that's supposed to be. He's heard me. I've said face hole before talking about mouths, so I guess he's like, it's easier, but just like, what? What kind of poetic description is that? It's easier for me to express my love in a note than to her face hole. Anyway, so he gave this girl this note, and she apparently he told his friend that she gave the note back, and she circled no, and then put exclamation marks for like a page afterwards. I know, it's kind of sad. But no, here's what's funny. He still calls her his girlfriend. So he's very persistent. Maybe he believes there's been some like kind of arranged marriage, and like, I don't know what's going on in his little head, but it's pretty adorable, honestly. And just with relationships, I just noticed people have such funny, misguided assumptions. Like my little brothers were like, I was talking to this friend of mine a couple months ago, and I had this girlfriend at the time. It was late in my freshman year, and I was talking about how she made me happy, and then he's like, "You know, is it really happiness though if you need that person to be happy?" I was like, "That is shit. Only single people say." Sit down. But I mean, at the same time, I can see where he's coming from. I've had, my own awkwardness with girls. I'm either like really spot on and like make them laugh, seem confident, all that great stuff, or like I'm just really terribly awkward. And there's like no telling, it's just kind of flip the coin depending on the day. And so some people, when I tell them that, they're like, "Oh, Christian, like that's good, that's good, you're probably just fine with it, you're going too hard on yourself." No. What would you think about an airplane pilot if he was like, "You know what, my flying, some days like it's great, and like I'm confidently like, and other days, frozen lakes." So I was trying to explain this to a friend of mine one time, and he was like, "Well, just how bad really is it?" I was like, "It's like, it feels like Black Hawk Down sometimes, where I'm the American military, and all of a sudden there's just a whole lot of angry terrorists all around with like AK-47s, and what actually looks, what physically happens is, there's some girl, and I go up, and I just freeze up and run away as soon as I get an excuse to. But what it feels like, what kind of it feels like in my mind is something along the lines of this. Hunter Actual, this is Red Leader. We got a confirmative sighting of an attractive girl. Over. Red Leader, this is Hunter Actual. You have permission to proceed with a recon. Roger that. Boner confirmed. All right, we're gonna make the move in. All right, listen, Sergeant, you need to go take her friend on the left. Private, you need to go take her friend on the right. I'm gonna go for it. All right, boys, we all want to make it home. We all want to get out safe. Let's go! And then, like there's just like sudden AK-47 fire. There's like a bomb going off, and like, and so I'm up here, and that's what I do. And just run away. It's like that's what it feels like. That's what I see up here. And part of that is like, there's some girls who are kind of nasty. The first girl I dated was one of these, and I'm really convinced that what happened is there was like a board meeting in hell, right? And the CEO, Lucifer himself, was like, "Okay, next up, there's this Christian Sears kid, and his life has been too nice recently, so he's gonna be infatuated with a girl that looks like this, and we get to dictate the personality. So I have a particular demon in mind, and we're just gonna try and infest her body with this demon."